Hello and welcome to a very decorated Chateau de Colombe.
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à Journey to the Chateau de Colombe.
Und unseren deutschsprachigen Freunden herzlich willkommen, ein sehr dekoriertes Chateau de Colombe.
Yeah, then we are here today in the Chateau entrance hall, decorated for Christmas.
Yes, and it's really, what's that song, Deck the Halls?
Yes.
It's not holly in this case. A holly is actually really difficult to deal with because it pokes you.
It hurts.
So
holly hurts.
We have laurel instead, or as it's called in America, bay leaf. And we're really lucky to have this beautiful tree, so we can actually have these huge pieces. And so it was great to decorate. We know we are hopefully under-equipped. Hopelessly, I should say, not hopefully, hopelessly, sorry, under-equipped to decorate the chateau. Next year, we really have to. We have 3 more rooms than this year, so it's going to be interesting.
We will need a lot more decorations.
We're going to start in August.
Whenever we start seeing them, we're going to start buying them. That's what's going to have to be, right?
And so we got one of our friends and patrons, Honey. She actually sent us garlands and some ornaments. It's
beautiful.
Fantastic.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah, so
they're lovely.
It's really, really lovely. And when we go to book homes, we're looking for Christmas ornaments that fit, not just any,
right.
just any.
Right, and as you can see, and as you will see if you haven't already from this tour coming up, is that we are sort of going with themes in different rooms. So, you know, the dining room, we're sort of going with the blues, and, you know, in the bed and breakfast room, we're wanting to keep it in sort of like the reds and the pinks sort of thing. So, and we would like to sort of do that. That's sort of a fun thing to do with, you know, golds in one room and, you know, green and red in the other room. So that's sort of what we're looking for the future as well.
So what I would like to do is, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, I was going to talk about the fact that you made fudge, but, you know, go ahead.
Well, I think, yes, that's much later.
Oh,
so
yes.
I just would like to invite you to tour the chateau with me right now.
Yeah.
So what a fantastic day to do this walkthrough with you through the decorated Chateau de Colombe. It's freezing outside. We're going towards a full moon, so it's very moody outside. So it's really, really lovely. And we just got this in the mail today from one of our patrons. It's very lovely. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how the decorated chateau looks. There might be some tweaks before actual Christmas, but this is what it is, and I hope you like it. Okay, coming through and entering the dining room. So the table is set for Christmas, and it is quite, I would have to say, beautiful Christmassy moody. Of course, everything is glittery, as it should be. And of course, it's all very, very blue in this room, including what people would refer to as the Hanukkah bush, which is, I always love that term. So this is where we're going to spend Christmas Eve with our friends and what you would say chosen family, because we're lucky enough to have these amazing people in our lives. And this is the table setting. I'm going to do something very cruel now. I will turn on the light, and it's going to be a bit intense, but so you can actually see what we're having on the table. Of course, there are crackers, water glass, red wine glass, white wine glass. On that étagère, there will be fudge, 2 different fudges. And this room is lit by le Petit Salon, our candle, one of our 3 different scents. And they're really, really lovely. Now, I have the Chateau library in the entrance hall because it's a more masculine, down-to-earth scent than the Petit Salon. But it feels just right. Okay, moving on from the dining room into the hall. Very moody. Of course it is very moody, and I will turn on more light. But this is how this looks, and it's really quite magical how it wraps up along the staircase. By the way, this was actually, I don't know if you can see that. I'll show that again, but this was actually Stuart's sleigh that he had as a child. This beautiful dove, which of course, it's the symbol for peace. Was made by Margaret Todd, one of our patrons, and I just love it. And this is the upstairs. So it wraps around the entire staircase. I just love this. Now, I am going to turn on more light, so please forgive me. It takes a little bit away from the magic, but will give you a much better image of what we're having here. There we go. So, this is one of our trees, and it's red, pinks, and whites. I think it's very, very pretty. This is laurel or bay leaf. It's quite amazing. So we chopped that down because it's so tall. It was too much and it was infringing on a roof. So we just took the tips off, half of them. So we have the remainder for next year to decorate the chateau. So this was actually Stuart's sleigh as a child. How lovely is that? And then again, the peacock bow, and it goes all the way up, and then we have that huge mirror with the wreath, which we'll do in a little bit, turning around and around and around, and there we are. So from the entrance hall to the left from the front door, we had the grand salon. And I am so looking forward to hosting Christmas Eve dinner. And here we go. I need to show you this because it's actually quite lovely. It is a cornucopia with the American flag on it. How lovely is that? The fire's on. And it's safe. I cannot tell you how lovely that is because we couldn't, for the last winters, turn this on. And now having this is wonderful. Now, from here, we're going to the Petit Salon. More decorations, and it's really quite lovely. It's very charming. Now in the Petit Salon, the candle we've lit here is the Petit Salon. So the Petit Salon, library, and maybe a holiday candle will be available maybe next year, but not this year. We cannot possibly manage that. But again, we have the fire going. It's very, very cozy. And it's nice and warm. And this whole tree, and I don't think I can do this justice in any way, shape, or form. But Stuart and I had started to collect Swarovski crystals, about 15 years ago. So one of my favorites is this one. Forgive me for doing this, but it's so pretty. So we love them. Candy canes. And then of course their annual ornaments. Another little snowman. And this is an ornament that I got as a gift from a dear friend whom I know for, oh good Lord, way longer than I would like to admit, for Christmas one year. From this beautiful, cozy Petit Salon, I'm now going to take you upstairs because we have a little bit of decoration. Next year we'll have 2 bedrooms to decorate upstairs. The gîte, the second gîte. So there's plenty more, and we will also decorate the kitchen next year. So let's go. So we're going to go upstairs. And no, we did not completely deck out the bed and breakfast room. It was too much work and we had too few ornaments, but we did something regardless. So here we go. That's this lovely wreath, and it glitters quite lovely, that ribbon. Some of these things are from my parents. This little guy here, I find very cute, the gnome, I got at a Christmas market in Germany. These 2 little figurines, left and right, made out of wood, come from my family. And again, we keep it with a pink and red theme. And now let's have a look at the bed and breakfast room. Now let's have a look at the bed and breakfast room. We might open it up next year for the Advent season. And it's really quite charming. It's not decked out, there would be a tree. But, so this is all laurel or bay leaf as it's known to be, because this is all edible, so it's lovely. This is the mantle, which we have decorated just in a very simple but very elegant way. And we like it, so I hope you do too. That's the bed. And that concludes our little tour. We will do some pictures from the outside. And we hope you enjoy what we've done here. Well, hello and welcome again to the Chateau kitchen. Today I'm making 2 versions of fudge, none of which will take a long time for you to watch, so don't stress out. And the first one is Irish cream fudge. So it's a little boozy, a little, well, actually not, because of course all the alcohol will evaporate, but you have that lovely, instead of milk, I use Irish cream or Bailey's. And of course that's a brand name, we shouldn't say that. Anyways, I'm going to get started and we'll show you what I have in the pot. So on low heat, I'm melting butter, sugar, condensed milk, and that's it. Oh yeah, it's only 3 ingredients, and the 4th one comes in later. So that I'm heating that up on medium-low heat, so that until the sugar has melted, and then we bring it to a boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. And why you cannot walk away from the stove, you have to really make sure that you stir it all the time, and so it doesn't catch on the bottom of the pot. In any case, I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you at the other side, because this is so boring, I'm not going to bore you with it. Okay, very quick update. It's now boiling on medium, I would say. And this will go on for about 10, if not 15 minutes. So, sorry, my camera. When I stare at the pot, I can't somehow stare at the camera, which is kind of pathetic. Anyways, so this is going to go on for 15 minutes, and I'm going to spare you. Okay, so this is the moment when you can see there are some darker, not really dark, but it's getting darker because everything is very pale when you start. And you have these flecks that look a bit darker. They're coming up from the bottom. This is when your sugar turns, with the condensed milk, turns into kind of caramel. And it's, so don't be shocked when that happens, because that is supposed to happen. The fudge needs to be a bit darker in color, which it will be due to cooking. And I have another 4 minutes to minimum to boil this. Okay, I've been boiling and stirring this for a good 10 minutes. I'm pretty much 11 or 12 now, actually. And you can see how much darker and richer it is. Actually, the camera I can see on the screen makes it look lighter than it is. This is lovely light brown. I mean, truly a fudge color. Now, the piece de résistance. So I'm pouring in 100 some milliliter of Bailey's. As you can hear, there is some protest going on because the pan is very hot. So there you go. Oh, this smells heavenly. So we now stir this again for a couple of minutes on low heat, but it needs to boil so this comes together. So again, the alcohol is gone, which is good because that's not the point of fudge, to be boozy. But but you have the taste of the Baileys. And of course, I'm really super excited to share this during the Christmas Eve dinner, because that's the day we're doing this here at the Chateau, and see what everyone thinks, because that's going to be on the table between the dessert, main course and dessert. This is just a little, I don't know, amuse-bouche or something. Yeah, there it goes. So I already used the thermometer to check the temperature. It was at 115 degrees centigrade, so that's really important that it reaches that, because that's when the sugar dissolves and things come together. So a candy thermometer is really, really important. If you don't have one, you can put a teaspoon on a plate, on a little side plate, and see when it is cool. If you can roll it into a little ball, then you know you also have the right consistency. In any case, it's time for the beating. And I will not do this by hand, I will use the whisker. So the fudge is off the stove, and you can see it's still bubbling, and you see how shiny this is. We do want to get rid of the shine. The fudge is ready when the sheen goes away. So I'm going to do that, and I will not hold the camera for that for long. But you can see how lovely it reflects the light. So have fun beating. So I hope you can see that this is far less shiny than it was 5 minutes ago. So I'll beat this for a little bit longer, and then it goes into the pan. Okay, last one for tonight, for today, I should say. There will be maybe one more, but I will not film that. So, chocolate fudge, not cooked. It's almost like the peppermint fudge, same principle that I made. So, let's have a look how that went. Okay, so, in this pot we have 400 gram of condensed milk, 100 gram of butter, and 500 gram of chocolate. So, it's 400 gram of dark chocolate. 50 to 70%, and then I like to lighten that up with 100 gram of milk chocolate. Now, please don't use chocolate chips, because they're made to keep their shape. They go through a different process, and they will not melt like regular chocolate does. So this goes on the stove, low heat, until it's all melted into beautiful creaminess, and then we're going to add that little, it's actually not little, it's a tall whiskey shot glass. And you can see it's pretty full. That is cinnamon whiskey, which will be flavoring this concoction. And let's see how that works out. So let's look at that. It's really lovely how good chocolate melts beautifully. Combining this with the butter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, I have forgot one ingredient. I put a pinch of salt in it, because it just kind of elevates some flavors. I don't know why, but it does, at least in my book. And, ooh, lovely. So you don't want this to come to a boil. You just want this to be combined and smooth. How amazing is that? So here we are. Irish cream fudge, dark chocolate, and cinnamon whiskey fudge. So I hope you like these. It's really exciting. I had to economize. We don't have enough pans. So I just separated these, and they will go in the fridge when they are completely cool. Don't put them in the fridge when they're still warm. And tomorrow we're going to try them. And so cut them, try them, and tell you how they taste. So now you've seen the 3 fudges, not stooges, fudges.
Yes, and all 3 are actually really, really good and very different from each other.
Totally.
Yes. And I would say my favorite is probably the Irish cream fudge, which is a little unusual because I'm a pretty big dark chocolate fan. So I would have thought that my favorite would be the dark chocolate, but it's actually the Irish cream.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a favorite. I do love the Irish cream fudge. I would put in more Irish cream next time. Just saying, it's all a learning curve here.
And we took some of the peppermint fudge to Jane and Tony, and they absolutely love the peppermint fudge.
Yes, I love it too because it's such an incredibly fresh flavor. It's like almost sucker punch. I mean, it's just so refreshing. It would be great after a dinner or something to have to clear the
palate.
Yes, so it was great fun to do this. Although when the fireplace, I mean the wood burner is going, standing in front of the stove for 20 minutes stirring continuously, not great, but the result is great. So I'm very happy.
Yes. And please don't forget that visit chateaudecolombe.com.
Yes.
And you will find that we have the store there now. And thank you all who have been there to visit. And please remember to leave any comments that you want about any products that we'd like to see at the store.
And I want to see your comments about which fudge you would like best.
That's a great idea. Because you did very different fudges last year, because last year you had like the peanut butter fudge, which you didn't do this year.
No.
So it is sort of interesting to know which ones we should do again and maybe not. So what should we do again for next year?
Absolutely.
Right. So that's it for this episode. If you like it, please give us a thumbs up.
Subscribe and recommend us to your friends. It helps us tremendously and we appreciate it.
And if you want to support the renovation of the Chateau, you can join us on Patreon.
Or buy us a coffee.
And we will see you next week on Christmas Day. Have a great weekend.
Yes, it is.
Au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.